We had an absolute wild day of high school basketball. 28 teams in our coverage area entered today fighting for a chance to make it to Rupp Arena. Well, today we whittled it down to 13. It's a saying that goes back to Julius Caesar. Beware the Ides of March. Brutus warned Caesar before eliminating him in that Shakespearean tragedy. A performance of that play took place tonight in Carolina, and playing the role of Brutus, Morehead State. Well, it was rough wall-to-wall for Kentucky, shut out in a bowl game for the first time in program history with a 21-0 loss to Iowa in the Music City Bowl. A drizzly afternoon here on the Vanderbilt University campus here in Nashville, and really fitting for this Kentucky team. That's what they'll be playing in on Saturday in the Music City Bowl against Iowa. All right, not the way that Kentucky season wanted to go, not the way my live shot wants to go. Yes, my battery is about to die, but I'll go through this pretty quickly as Kentucky falls to South Carolina, likely putting a dagger in their SEC East title hopes. Interregional matchups have become a theme all over sports. In the NBA, for a while, we had the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors develop a rivalry. Here in Kentucky Mountains, it is all about Corbin and Johnson Central. They meet for the third straight year, and Courtney is in Corbin with more. And Courtney, this is something we've been looking forward to all week. Michael Jordan once said, "I never lost a game, I just ran out of time." Well, for the last 4 days, the EKU Colonels have rallied back from deficit after deficit and even added more time to make sure that they do keep winning. Could they do it again tonight? In the 14th region, it was a battle of two teams that have not just had a region title in their sights, but they also had each other in their sights. Perry Central hosting Breathitt County. Well, it's been one heck of a week in Corbin. Upsets, tight finishes, and we have one more trophy to hand out. The 13th Region Boys Championship comes down to North Laurel and Corbin, and we have our very own Courtney Lane Brewer courtside to break this one down. Hey, Courtney. Well, from the beginning, the mantra of the Lawrence County Lady Bulldogs this season has been unfinished business, and at least as far as the 15th region is concerned, that business is now complete. So it's always great to celebrate our history here in the mountains, and over in Knott County, we had a night to turn back the clock. So, Nate, we're going to suspend reality here for a little bit. So, okay. For this evening, Knott Central and Floyd Central, they went by a different name and a different venue. We're going to go by those different names tonight as well. Hindman hosting Wayland at the old high school gym for the Glory Road Series. Well, in high school basketball, Wednesday is usually somewhat of an off day. Not too many teams playing games. Well, the folks along the Mountain Parkway missed that memo. Play does begin tonight. We look back on one of the most inspirational stories of the regular season. Ben Godby is a young man who has worked his whole high school career to bring glory to the Somerset Briar Jumper program. And when he and his family were hit with unimaginable tragedy last month, he followed an example to be there for his team. Over the past few seasons, there haven't been too many players in the 12th region that have grown like Ben Godby.
I would call him a self-made basketball player. It's not been easy for him, and I think just that hard work that he's put in is really starting to pay off, and he's starting to see that work come to fruition.
Among the Briar Jumpers scoring leaders, Ben helped push his team through all the way to the 12th Region All-A Championship game. But on game day, tragedy struck.
We were locked in for the game, and then around the end of the day, I get called out into the office and I hear the news.
Just hours before tip-off, Ben's father, Josh, died suddenly at the age of 43.
Josh loved to watch him play, and he loved to watch our team play. Josh was at our summer games. Josh was always on the front row of the Hall of Fame seating down there, and just a super supportive parent.
I'm just thankful that that's what he did. He didn't take my basketball for granted, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad he was at everything.
With his dad, his friend, one of his biggest cheerleaders, leaving that example, Ben knew his place was on the court.
I knew I was going to play because that's what he would have wanted, and I just knew he always loved watching me play, so I just knew I had to play through it, and same for the following day.
It's just unimaginable, very difficult. I still don't know how Ben played that night. I'm not surprised that he did, and honestly, it was one of the first things he said to me was that I want to play that night. And I think that was the competitor coming out in him. The competitor came to play, finishing in double figures in a close loss to the Admirals, then netting his first career dunk against Southwestern the next night. Just for the way he played and just super proud, super impressed. One of the most impressive things I've seen on an athletic field.
It's just been different since, and it's always going to be different. But I just got to get used to that different feeling because that's how it's going to be, and it's not going to change. But it really meant a lot to me, the way the community supported me through this.
Over time, support grew and grew, so much so that just 2 weeks later, on the road at rival Pulaski County, both his classmates and the Maroons wore shirts supporting Ben.
For a regular season game, it just gave you chill bumps to see, both student sections have his number in the shirts, and it was just one of those moments. It was a surreal moment in the starting lineup for me, just to look down and see that, and just very special.
Ben's play, just as special, finishing with 27 points to help beat Pulaski County in overtime.
I know he would have been very proud because that was the first time I've beaten Pulaski in my high school career, and he would have just loved every bit of it. I know he would have.
And as the postseason begins, Ben wants to carry his father's name, like the way his father lifted him.
Just want to let everyone know that I'm a Godby, and we work hard, we do things right.
Ben has said that on that first dunk, he felt his father lifting him up to the rim. Congratulations, Ben. That's sports. We're back after this.